Good morning, Solid Steppers. What's up, Tech the Titans? This is Miss Ward coming to you from Lake City, Florida. I'm currently headed to the gym real quick. I want to get a workout in before I start my day. Boy, look at here. Time flies, man. Time flies. I was sitting here talking to one of my students, and it occurred to me that I may need to make a video in reference to everything that we say we want. Do you have the ability to maintain the blessings that you're asking for? Because with blessings and with business and anything in life that the outside world think is success, there's a price you pay to maintain that, and that it stay at that level and go and continue to go to the next level. And I don't think that people realize that it's not about arriving at a certain point. It's about not only arriving at that point, but being able to maintain it. Like, I was just leaving my hotel earlier, and there are two speedboats in front of the hotel that are hooked up to hot shots being delivered. And y'all got to bear with me because this is Lake City. Be just they done built stuff on top of stuff behind stuff, and man, the Planet Fitness is behind this building, and I always miss it, so I have to slow down. But you know, these speedboats were in front of the hotel, and one guy was pulling out as I was leaving. And I was thinking, God, that's a gorgeous boat. But when I see gorgeous stuff like that, the first thing I start calculating is the expense, maintenance, docking it, like the whole shebang. You know, yeah, it's real cute. That's why I got friends. I can go jump on theirs with them. I have no interest in owning anything like that. You know, even though I'm in Florida, look, there's a place for it. I'm not knocking anybody that do. And most of the people I know who have one, it's a write off. But what I'm saying is, a lot of times people will look at cars and material things and homes, and they don't even have they have no idea what it takes to maintain those things. Same thing with a successful business. When you have a successful business, you number one got to take care of yourself. You got to continue to skill up. You got to continue to educate yourself on management and business matters. Prime example, you need to understand taxes. I'm not saying that you got to do your own taxes, but what I'm saying is, if you're going to employ a CPA or a tax accountant, or I forgot what they call those people that are, they mainly focus on the deductions, and I think it starts with an E, but they're a special type of a tax agent. And they stay up on the latest deductions, and they help you with your tax planning. See, that's a whole nother level. A lot of people are so accustomed to being a W-2, they don't realize the nuances that it takes to manage a business, to stay out of the auditing area, and to still be able to retain some profits that you can invest. Like, there's a whole process. Like, this is not financial advice, but I'm always telling people that there's no tax on debt. That's why you see so many people that roll uh, any profits that they have into an investment, or into a situation where they can do an investment and then get a loan against the investment. Like, it's a whole game. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of people, they just happy to be able to pay a bill. They just happy to have some money in the bank. But what's happening with your money in the bank? It's called attrition. You know, the money will erode because you got bank fees. It's not growing. You can't. I mean, sometimes you can find a high yield savings account with 4 or 5%, but the reality is, you get to a certain point in life, you got to really understand how to not only to make the money, but to grow the money. And then you got to maintain wherever you are and invest, make those hard decisions. Personally, I don't think they're hard. I think it's just what comes with the business. It's the cost of doing business. Whether it be leveling up on your vehicle. I talk to people, and they have these vehicles that they want to do appliance repair in, but they want the best customer. That customer's not going to do business with you when you show up with a vehicle that's not in good condition. Do you have to have something brand new? Absolutely not. I don't think you should have to do that, but I think that you should make sure that your uniforms are nice and clean and starched, and that your vehicle appears in such a light that they know you on point, that you're vehicle is nice, clean, and organized. That's something I always have to work on. It's so funny to me. I remember I was doing something. I was in one of my high top vans, and Brandon was like, I had stuff everywhere, man, because all I knew is I was buying it and throwing it in there. You ask me where it is, I don't know. And the thing about appliance repair is so tricky because the reality is we can do 90% of our work with limited tools. So, you don't have to have a lot when you know what you're doing. But me, when I first started out, I just bought every tool. I had two of everything. That's what's so funny because I would meet up with my guys and I'd be like, here, you can have this one. Because I'd have more than one, sometimes more than two. But the reality is, as you mature in the process, you have what you need, which is why today I roll around in a smaller vehicle because I don't need all that space because I targeted my market, I targeted my clientele, I targeted the jobs that I wanted to do that were going to be most profitable, and that's how I run my business, and I will continue to do it that way. I service specific areas that pay me a premium, and so I don't have any issues. And that particular business model I have will always be successful because number one, 99% of the people don't do it. They don't have the kahunas to do it because they're too busy worrying about, well, how do you do this? Like, I never forget some idiot in the comments asked me about my gas. I was like, really? And then I had to realize that people don't think the way I think. I think like a business person. Of course, I have gas cards and I have premium gas cards because they work toward my business credit and my personal credit. So if I'm going to do something, my money's going to work 2 or 3 times. I'm not going to just take cash out my pocket and pay for it or put it on a debit card when it could be on a net 30, net 60, net 90 account. At the end of the day, you got to decide what you want to do and how you want to do it. And then you got to do it well, you know? And then you got to continue to tweak it. You don't set it and forget it. That's another thing I see a lot of people do. They get in business, they find out one thing, they hustle on that one side, and then they never look at implementing. And then because they don't think on their own, this is so key in business. Please do your research, gather information, and come up with your own concepts that work for you. Test this, test that. The problem with so many people is they don't have the ingenuity to come up with their own stuff. They're always trying to ear hustle some or see what's the next quick lick. There are no quick licks in true success because easy money, easy come, easy go. I'm telling you, easy money don't last. And that's why what you have to do is develop systems. And then you got to build upon those systems for whatever you ultimately want. And that's what I think people miss when it comes to business. They don't stay on top of the systems. They don't do what they need to do to be successful. And then they looking at somebody else crazy. This is why, there are so many of us who the world deems successful or antisocial. I share through YouTube because I really struggle with dealing with people who have not experienced the trauma and the drama of what it takes to have a business and to make those decisions and to sacrifice. Because a lot of people are just kicking tires. So I don't have time for that. The people in my circle are movers and shakers. You'll see me interviewing them on my channel. On my channel. And, you can tell just from the interview that it bounces off the page how genuine, how sincere, and how serious these guys and girls are about the game. I'm really blessed to be surrounded by nothing but hitters in every aspect of my life, but that was designed that way. I take full credit of choosing wisely, because I'm the kind of person I can have a disagreement with you and never talk to you again. Doesn't mean I don't love you. It's just that I rather freeze frame our relationship in a positive light. Because when we get to the point we can't discuss anything, then what are we doing? When we can't have a discussion as adults, then what are we doing? And when you take me to a certain level where my temperament is done, I don't even want to deal because I don't want to be that person. Because that means you done touched a spot in a trigger that is very uncomfortable for me. And when I see myself come out my neck the sideways, I'm like, oh no, we can't do this. This is an environment I don't need to be in. And when you understand you're about protecting your brand and your future, you do that. And I'm never apologetic about it. I've helped a lot of people along the way. A lot of people have helped me, and I'm very appreciative. So as always, ending this video, I want to give a shout out to all those people who helped me in the industry, outside the industry. Mike Sneed, ABC Appliance Boot Camp is where I took my initial training, my entree into, and it gave me a great foundation. Mike being such a supportive mentor and being the type of guy that, I go to him and ask him questions and he give me some advice and I follow it. A lot of people didn't like it, but I don't care. Because at the end of the day, he had more experience than me and he was talking to me from his experiences. And I respect that. Same thing with Richard Zilka. Zilka helped me tremendously on the technical side, along with Brandon. Phil, of course, still helps me today. Love him to death. Ike, my one of my subcontractors. Great guy. And this is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Y'all don't understand how your circle is so important. But at the same time, you got to respect what people are and leave them there sometimes. Some people ain't going where you're going, and you got to respect that. And that's what I do. At the end of the day, you have to focus on what's going to be important for you to be successful. Like me, I go to this gym all the time. I'm still fat. I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I feel better when I get in the gym. I know I have to focus on my nutrition at this point. I'm very clear about what I have to do. So at the end of the day, you got to do what's going to work for you. Let's see who else I got to thank. I got to thank Lamar. I got to thank Terry, the electrician, Lamar over at the Appliance Professionals. And at the end of the day, like I said, all these guys have so much to do with my success. Shout out to Darren Clark and Slick, all that. Like I said, at the end of the day, you have to realize who you are, where you are. Shout out to TK and EJ. Shout out to, once again, Phil over at Atomic Tech up in Augusta. I really enjoyed his training and how he trains his staff. And this is what I mean about those relationships where you learn from each other. A lot of people talk it, but we are, some of us move in a silo, and I'm kind of one of those people. But that's not necessarily good, because the more you get out and have relationships with people, um, the more you learn and the more you're exposed to, because you can only learn so much in your bubble. Shout out to my boy Q, love him to death. That's my guy. I always tell people, if it wasn't for Q, I wouldn't still be in the business, because I swear I wanted to quit every day I hit a wall. But he was always so encouraging and supportive. Shout out to David over Daybreak Appliance Repair. Um, I'm telling you, love these guys. Really, really had my back, and I appreciate it. Shout out to Saul at Marcone. I've been able to build my business due to the backing and the support from them. Him giving me, access to so many opportunities when it comes to not just training, but the parts, updates, and his personal insight. I greatly appreciate that. Shout out to Melissa over there at Palm Beach. Marcone, she's always got me. I can call her no matter where I'm at, and I'll be like, look, I got a special situation. You guys only show the part. Can you shoot this to me? No matter where I'm at in the world. See that? You can't run a business without people who really got you, who don't just do lip service, but they really got you when the rubber hit the road. You know, in business, we all go through challenges. We go through ups and downs, lean time, and lucrative times. The key is, when you're in the lucrative time, what are you doing and storing up for the lean times? Because everybody has them. And how you prepared, and is your skill set at a level where you can pivot? I think so many people don't understand. Do not ever get comfortable, because comfortable will get you got. Don't get caught slipping. But that's all I got for y'all, man. I got to get in here and get this in real quick, and then I got to get up and have a phenomenal day. So I am blessed to be a blessing. Y'all have a great day. All right, solid steppers. Take the Titans 2.0. Let's go get it.